You're never going to guess what country I'm in. All right, I'll give you a couple of clues. I'm definitely in Europe, right? Now, this country has about 500 types of fresh cheese, over 1,000 styles of wine. You're getting warm, right? The colors of the flag are red, white, and green. It has over 300 types of really fresh, very good pasta. If you haven't figured it out by now, I might as well tell you. I'm in Italy, baby! Woo-hoo-hoo! Italy is a country of 20 very different regions. Each has its own foods and its own wines. I'll be visiting Tuscany, Italy's rustic heartland, and the rich and creamy farmlands of Emilia-Romagna. I'm starting off my gastronomic adventure here in Florence, Tuscany. The heart and soul of Italian food, passion wine, and really bad roads. Yeah! The grand architecture of Florence is in contrast to its simple culinary tradition. Cooking here is rooted in the land and has earned Tuscans the nickname mangiafagioli, or bean eaters, thanks to their love of this humble vegetable. Florentine food reflects Tuscany's peasant-based culture. Here, bread is the staple, not pasta. I reckon the best way to enjoy Italian bread is like this, with tomatoes, olive oil, and fresh mozzarella cheese. I guess it's Italy's answer to fast food, and it's known throughout the world as pizza. Ladies, pizza. Pizza is very different in Italy from the ones you taste everywhere else. It's thin and crispy and always has very simple toppings. It's one of Italy's most popular exports. A close second is Italian gelato. Where are we going?
To a best gelateria in Florence. Come with me, come with me.
If a cute Italian girl wants to take you someplace, I guess you gotta go, right? This place is packed. Italian gelato is the smoothest ice cream in the world. It's made with milk, not cream, so it's lower in fat than its American-style cousin. Gelateria owner Piero Vivoli inherited the secret of how to make good ice cream from his father, and he sees gelato making as an art. What are you gonna have?
I think I'm gonna have chocolate and marroni.
Marroni,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have the persimmon, Diospiro. Diospiro, which is based on persimmon. Diospiro, I can't get that one right.
With pear and caramel.
With pear and caramel, yeah, you can have that.
Vorrebbe il diosporo con la pera e il caramello.
Ci sono dei gusti che vanno molto meglio, per esempio il mirtillo con lo yogurt.
I can't have it? What's the matter?
Sincerely, he's saying that they're not really matching together.
Mr. Vivoli is a mad scientist when it comes to flavors. He doesn't believe in just one ice cream. He believes in ice creams together create a whole different experience. He's not going to let me have what I ordered because obviously I ordered the wrong thing. So what should I have? So what is that? That's a blueberry?
That's a blueberry.
And what is it? On yogurt?
Yes.
Wow. That looks incredible. It's really fresh, too. Look at that. It's nice. Gorgeous. Mille, grazie mille. That looks beautiful. It's going in. You ready? Oh, my God. Mr. Vivoli, that's incredible. It's heaven. How do you say heaven?
Paradiso.
Paradiso. That's magnifico. Florence is also famous for another snack, which is something of an acquired taste. Because Tuscan food is basically peasant food elevated, the Florentines are geniuses about creating masterpieces out of basically every piece of the animal. Tripe itself is the inner lining of a cow's stomach, and it sounds sort of medieval, but if you love it, you love it. And here in Florence, they actually use it as street food. They'll take tripe itself and braise it with aromatic vegetables and herbs, and they'll cook it until it basically falls apart. And they'll chop it up and make a sandwich out of it. And this guy's putting a little bit of salt, and then he tops it off a little pepper. Right? And then they put this, yeah, salsa verde, which is basically parsley, anchovies, capers, and a little bit of garlic and olive oil kind of blended together. You can only get this in Florence. It's nice, only in Florence. Va bene. Delicious. This is Fabio. He is the owner of the most famous restaurant in all of Florence, Cibreo, and he's going to take me through the market, and we're going to hunt for some, what are we going to hunt for today?
Mushrooms.
Mushrooms. We're going mushroom
beans.
hunting. Mushrooms and beans, baby. We're going to go hunt in the market. Let's go.
Yeah, well.
Fabio only decides what his menu of the day will be after he has checked out the best ingredients at the market across the street. As a result, his restaurant has some of the freshest food around and has become something of a Florentine institution. Ah, look at this. Zucchini flowers. Amazing, huh? Ah, you stuff these, right?
Yeah, di buon.
They're great.
The meat, bombs, and cheese.
Today, he is looking for one of Italy's most prized culinary treasures, the porcini mushroom. This is your porcini spot?
Yes, it's incredible.
Look at that. It's amazing. Wow. So what's the season for porcinis?
June, July, August sometimes, September, October. But this time,
So
this year is perfect. In November, huh?
It's been a good porcini year,
Yes.
huh?
And
so
this
what is this called?
It's a
What is-
nipitella.
Nipitella?
It's necessary for porcini.
I've never seen this before. Wow.
Cecchina di
amazing.
piglio tutti questi, eh?
Amazing. Let's go.
Vai.
Do you get this on credit? You don't have to pay for this? Porcini
al cartoccio.
al cartoccio. What Fabio's telling me is that he's making baked porcini mushrooms and beans.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the olive oil. It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's so green.
He's a young.
Right,
He's,
right.
He's born 5 days ago.
This is
huh?
pressed 5 days ago?
Yes.
My God, that's like, you smell like the Tuscan
Yes.
countryside.
Huh?
That's really beautiful.
And for start with the beans, huh?
Okay, so what are we going to
I put inside the little parts of tomato
Okay,
and the rosemary
the rosemary.
and sage.
Okay, so it's
And-
like in this this delicious ball of olive oil here. And a couple pieces of garlic.
Yes.
Right? Get a couple of shakes in.
And
Right.
water.
And a little bit of water. That's it. Very
And-
simple. Cover them up. And how long
Yes.
how long do they take?
2 hours.
All right, 2 hours.
2 hours,
Okay,
yes.
so that's definitely the first thing
Yes.
you want to do is get the beans on. Okay, so what do we do with the porcini?
Fabio then removes the caps
What
from the
do you mean
porcini
the cap?
stems.
If you want to substitute like another mushroom for this,
No,
No?
only porcini here.
only porcini. Don't even
Please.
think about it.
Please.
For Fabio's sake,
Yes.
don't even think about it.
Huh?
He then
Brush
lightly
up the
brushes
thing,
them with
soak it.
water to get rid of any excess dirt.
You don't want to dunk it in water, right?
No.
No, because a mushroom is basically a sponge,
Yes.
right? So if you stick it in the water, it's going to soak up a lot of water, and it's going to dilute the natural flavor. So you just want to sort of brush it off, get sort of the excess dirt off. So what are you going to do with the garlic? He's chopping the garlic up in small pieces.
I prefer 4 pieces. Huh? If you want 2, no
Okay.
problem. Huh?
Okay.
I love garlic.
I love
huh?
garlic too, yeah. So, so you're just going to stick the garlic
Yes,
into
inside, huh?
press it into the porcini cap. Okay.
Yeah, 1, 2. Yes, and
Right.
now nipitella.
And the nipitella. So let's talk about this herb for a second. Now this is now nipitella. It's only in Tuscany, right?
Yes,
All
I
right.
think so.
Now this is I've really never had this before. It's it looks like fresh oregano if you want to hold up a fresh leaf of it, but it's not.
No,
Sort of like a mix between fresh spearmint, right, and,
Yes.
and oregano. If you had a little bit of fresh oregano and a little bit of fresh mint,
Yes.
chopped it up equal parts and put it on top, it'd
But
be the
together,
same.
huh?
Together,
Together,
not
huh?
separate. Together.
Then plenty of
Really
salt,
amazing.
pepper, and olive oil is added.
And for me, this dish right here epitomizes Tuscan cuisine because it's all about the most impeccable ingredients you could ever find, right?
Yes,
Porcini
right.
mushrooms, nipitella, really 5-day-old olive oil,
Garlic.
and garlic, right? And a dish with very little manipulation. It's all about the natural ingredients. It's gorgeous.
The mushrooms are then cooked bain-marie, which means baking them in a shallow bath of water for 20 minutes at 325 degrees Fahrenheit.
the wine is good, huh?
Delicious.
Allora,
Okay, all right, so porcini mushrooms are done?
yeah.
Hot, right? Ah,
Attention.
attention.
Ups. These are my mushrooms.
Okay. Look at that. It's amazing. Wow.
It's good.
That's beautiful. Look at this. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Open these up. It's stunning. Very simplistic, very nice, very natural. Gorgeous.
The fingers is necessary, yeah?
Yeah,
For,
absolutely.
for the
yeah.
touch. Huh?
Yeah. God's tools right here. The beans.
Yeah. And now the bread.
And finally, in true Tuscan style, a little bit of bread is added.
Is for me or for you, these mushrooms?
A little sage for garnish.
I love it.
Yeah. I always do the same thing when I garnish my plates. I always use the ingredients that I cooked with. So if you're cooking something with sage, always garnish it with sage. Yeah.
It's beautiful, huh? I love olive oil.
Fabio, that is absolutely fabulous. Dynamite. Very nice, very nice.
Well, I forgot.
Grazie.
No, I make for you.
Yeah.
Huh? I am mommy today. You remember?
Don't baby me.
Yes, and piece of bread.
Oh, grazie.
Huh? It's good. It's good.
That is spectacular. Yeah, right, with a fork in my eye. That is spectacular. I'm picking up train tickets here in Florence to head to a small village in the Tuscan countryside called Marradi. I'm taking this really old steam engine, and every year, tens of thousands of Italians head to the hills to celebrate one thing: chestnuts.
North of Florence in the Tuscan hills is Marradi, the tiny town with a big passion. Sweet chestnuts are a basic foodstuff in the mountain regions of Tuscany. And throughout history, they've often saved the local population from hunger, even starvation. But today, they're more of an after-dinner treat.
If you're just as crazy about chestnuts as I am, then the festival here in Marradi, without a doubt, is the best chestnut festival in all of Italy. It happens every Sunday in October, and what they do here with chestnuts is unbelievable. There's chestnut jam and chestnut honey and chestnut pastries and even chestnut bread. And then there's also the old reliable, which is just simply roasted chestnuts. They take the chestnuts, they put them over an open flame, and they roast them until the skins start to char and the meat is really soft. And it kind of smells like peanut butter. It also kind of reminds me of a Bing Crosby song. Va bene.
A popular meat to eat with chestnuts is porchetta, which is basically roasted pork with herbs.
Oh, porchetto. Porchetto. Bene, bene. Oh. On a porchetto, my favorite part is the skin. It's very crunchy. Well, I made it out of the Chestnut Festival alive, but the Chestnut Festival still continues here in the beautiful home of Emilia Vanni. And what we're going to make today is a chestnut polenta made out of chestnut flour. And we're going to serve it with pancetta, beautiful pancetta, which she has made here on her farm. And we're also some really, really fresh ricotta cheese that she's made also. And some chestnut flour. And this is what we're going to make.
Polenta is a cornmeal porridge,
smells
which is a
amazing.
staple of northern Italy.
All right, so what we're gonna do now is just pour the chestnut flour all at one time into lightly salted water. The smell is unbelievable. All right, so now, watch this, is pretty cool. I'll stir it all in at one time, but she'll actually make a little hole with her stick, right? This is kind of neat, right? And the water will boil over the top. And after the water comes to a boil, you just leave the flour in the water to cook for an hour. That's it.
While the polenta is cooking, we chop the pancetta, which is basically unsmoked bacon.
Beautiful little pancetta pieces. And the smell is just absolutely incredible. I mean, the way this, like, there's something about the smell of frying pork, be it bacon or whatever, the way it creeps through a house first thing in the morning. Absolutely incredible. Quanto?
While the pancetta is frying, add a few teaspoons of balsamic vinegar and reduce it to kind of a sweet syrup.
Look at the color in these things. They're absolutely beautiful. They're like little pancetta gummy bears, huh?
After about an hour, the polenta is ready to be beaten.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this big wooden paddle and I'm going to whack it and smash it around until it starts to cream out into a smooth polenta, all right? And we're just going to whip it. I'm just going to cream this out in the pot. I don't know who's got bigger muscles, me or Amelia. She's like...
Match.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so I'm going to whip this out. This is nice and creamy. So it goes onto the board now, right? All right. Almost smells like chocolate, you know?
Entriamo in azione con l'acqua fredda?
Amelia now shapes the polenta with cold water.
Oh, it looks beautiful. How long do you let this sit for? Mezz'ora, un'ora?
Mezz'ora.
Mezz'ora, a half an hour. You let this sit for about half an hour and start to harden up. But it'll still have that creamy taste to it. Beautiful. All right, Amelia,
Sì, Taylor.
the polenta is cooled down and it's set up. It's really, really firm now.
Esatto.
All right, so show us how you would plate one here at your restaurant.
Tagliamo?
Right in the middle. All right, just give us one big, beautiful slice. Now that is absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Chestnut polenta, it's pure Tuscany. Bravissima, bravissima. Prego, that's absolutely stunning. All right, so we're gonna put our first slice down the plate like that. Now it looks absolutely beautiful. You can smell like the smoky sweet chestnuts, it's really nice. All right, and then what's next? The
pancetta.
pancetta, okay. All right, so we're gonna put our beautiful little gummy bears, right? Caramelized with balsamic vinegar. Those are absolutely stunning. All right, so with little crunchy bits, with some salty flavor to them. Okay, and then
Ricotta.
ricotta. Okay, these are really, really cool. All right, a little tap like that, and you have this beautiful, beautiful little cheese. All right, and that's gonna go right there in the corner.
Erbette.
And fresh herbs.
Finocchio.
Finocchio fennel.
Sì.
All right. Finocchio. That's good, that's good.
Pimpinella.
Okay, pimpinella. Oh, that's beautiful.
Pimpinella.
Fresh pimpinella. Just a really fresh flavor to it. And then a little bit of olive oil.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Green
Okay,
olive oil.
stop. E pepe.
And then a little bit of fresh pepper.
Pepe dappertutto.
Beautiful,
Sì.
beautiful.
Beautiful. Taylor, buon appetito.
Amelia, grazie, grazie. Now, this is absolutely beautiful. So we got a little bit of chestnut polenta, all right, a little bit of ricotta cheese. You have to eat it all at one time so everything sort of complements each other. It's like a big marriage of flavors. That is phenomenal. Wow. Oh,
Bene.
you are a beautiful lady, huh? Very much, a beautiful lady. We just left Moradi and we're trying to find this little town called Montalcino. It's got some of the best wine of all in Tuscany. And I know it's off to the left here, right?
It's on the right, I know.
It's on the left.
Believe me, I'm Italian, I know.
All right, just go ahead, go ahead.
The 3-hour drive through Tuscany will eventually take us to the town of Montalcino. The area around Montalcino produces one of the world's most sought-after red wines, Brunello. This is thanks to the region's unique climate of long hot summers and mild winters, which creates the perfect soil for harvesting grapes.
Although Tuscany may put up a front of being rustic, rural, and peasant-like, it's not always the case. Here in Montalcino, over the last 30 years, this area has made an absolute fortune off Brunello wine. And Brunello wine being one of Italy's most famous, it has turned sleepy little Montalcino into Millionaire's Row. God, look at this place. I want to live here.
Today, the tiny hill town of Montalcino is teeming with cafes and bars, all offering Brunello wines from the different estates in the area.
Italians rarely drink wine by itself. They always have it with food, and it always seems like they're eating something. So we're going to enjoy our Brunello wine with some crostini and my buddy Luca, who lives here, and he's going to walk us through crostini and tell us exactly what it is.
Yeah,
So what
crostini are just little pieces of toast bread with something on it, like one with pâté d'olive.
Olive paste, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And chicken liver.
And the chicken liver is classic,
Yeah,
right?
the classic one.
Okay.
Then truffle
Truffles, I love truffles.
and mushrooms.
Wild mushrooms, great.
And the one with the tomato. You can put on it what you want.
And what time of the day would you normally have something like this?
At 5 p.m. about.
So like maybe before meals, or like
Yeah.
an appetizer or an hors
Yeah,
d'oeuvre,
sure.
something for a dinner party. This looks fabulous. I mean, we got all these great little crostinis and a nice big glass of Bordeaux wine,
Yeah.
and we're gonna try some of this stuff.
Unlike Italy's most popular wine, Chianti, which is made out of a blend of different grapes, Brunello is created from only one.
Brunello wine was created in the late 1880s by a very young, forward-thinking winemaker named Ferruccio Biondisante. At the time, Tuscan winemaking was just sort of a crude blend of grapes made to be drunk young. Ferruccio wanted to create a wine for the ages, a wine you could actually store in a cellar. So he took one Sangiovese grape and decided to make a really heady, beautiful red wine out of it. And still today, there are bottles up in the estate here in Biondisante that are over 100 years old.
The estate of Biondisante sits just outside Montalcino, and its owners are amongst the wealthiest winemakers in Europe. In fact, some of their vintages are so highly prized that they are seen as collector's items. I'm lucky enough to be here with the grandson of Ferruccio Biondisante, Franco Biondisante, and he still lives on the winery and he still makes some amazing vintages. But now 100 years later, this man is the caretaker of some of the finest and rarest Brunello wines in the absolute world. And on top of being this amazing cellar with vintages from like 1970, this man is the only man with the key, the absolute key to the most amazing room I've ever seen in my entire life. You want to see some really rare vintages, you should check this room out. Unbelievable.
Now, inside this little vault here houses some of the rarest wines in the absolute world. Now, this Biondisante is from 1955, all right? This wine was recognized by Wine Spectator as one of the 12 wines of the century, of the 20th century. It was the only Italian wine chosen. This retails for about $4,000 a bottle.
Certo.
Now, because he is the grandson of the founder, right, there are only a couple bottles of the original vintages left. Right, and they're right here. He has 6 bottles of 1891 wine. Can you show me this right here? Right, see, grazie. All right. All right, now this wine in particular right here. All right, this wine, there's only 6 bottles of it left, and he won't even let me hold it. All right, this wine, oh, he will let me hold it. Oh, my God. All right, there's only 6 bottles of it left in the absolute world, and it retails for $50,000 a bottle. I don't even want to touch it. Yeah. Amazing. All right, and the absolute rarest wine in this collection. All right.
Ecco, e questo è il colore stupendo.
All right. This is his grandfather's first vintage, 1888. It's 113 years old at this point. All right, and this bottle of wine is only 2 in the world. All right, and it's priceless. Absolute priceless.
È stupendo.
Stupendous, my
È
friend.
stupendo il colore, la color.
The color,
Yes.
and it still has. And if you guys can see this through the light.
Wonderful.
All right, and it has a beautiful, beautiful color to it.
Sì, ruby rosato.
Ruby and rosy. It's still
Sì.
perfect. Unbelievable. Signor, thank you very much.
Grazie, buon lavoro,
Grazie.
bravissimo.
I want to get out of here before I break something.
In contrast to the family-run business of Biondisante is the neighboring wine empire of Castello Bonfi. Here in Montalcino, they have over 200 different wine estates that all make really exceptional Brunello wine, but we're here today at Castello Bonfi for a couple of reasons. It happens to be Europe's largest wine estate, so it's kind of cool to see wine on the scale. And secondly, they make one of my favorite wines in the entire world. This Brunello di Montalcino, 1997. It's kind of a flash bottle of wine to order in New York, so I'm kind of excited about trying it here. And secondly, I'm really excited about trying all this stuff, and we're going to be here for a couple hours, so I think it's going to be a pretty good day.
We're here with Enrico Vierco, and he's the general manager of Castello Bonfim Winery, and we're going to walk through a couple different Brunello wines, right? So what we have here, what are we going to pour first? The Rosa, right?
The first one is Rosso di Montalcino.
Now the Rosso Montalcino. Now the Rosso Montalcino, right, is a young wine, all right? So it doesn't need a big glass. So this is a really beautiful. It's light. It's got some characteristics of cherry, a little vanilla, and then actually a little bit of violet.
Yeah.
Okay, now the next one we're going to try, which is my personal favorite, is the Brunello di Montalcino, which it's a very robust wine. And notice the difference in the glass itself. Now, with a lot of Italian wines, they'll serve it in a large bowl like this, right, to mix it in with the oxygen.